Hey guys, welcome to the garage. Thanks for joining me today. This is my 2024 GMC Sierra elevation package. I just picked this up last week. I did kind of an initial video on it while I was driving at home, just kind of going over the truck. But in this video, I want to go through this a little more detail, kind of show you the options, go through the configuration, what do you get with the elevation package, how does it, all the features and benefits. And then I want to also talk about a couple of things that were a surprise to me because I couldn't find a lot of information on this in videos and some of the research I did. So I want to share that information with you. And I want to go through the pricing and how the pricing worked on this. All right, so for GMC has several different trim levels. This one's called the Elevation trim. You can see there's this Elevation badging. Elevation kind of gives you a more blacked out type of look. Gives you these blacked out wheels. Gives kind of blacked out wheel arches. The front grille is kind of blacked out. So there's not a lot of chrome on this. There's a couple, like the badging is, and I'm going to change that here. But this is called the Thunderstorm Gray. This is kind of like a matte, kind of like a flat color, but it has a gloss to it. Really, it's an awesome color. I don't know if it's showing very well on camera or not, but it's awesome. I really like the look of this. So when I was looking for this truck, I was looking specifically for this color, this trim, this configuration with the short bed. This has the diesel engine, the turbo diesel engine. It comes in a couple different motor options. There's the 2.7 Turbo Max, the diesel, and then you can still get the 5.3 V8. I wanted this option. I have this same engine in, I have this Yukon XL that has the same diesel engine in it, and it's awesome. So I really like that. So I wanted to get that. With this elevation trim, you get these nice LED kind of like running lights here. It does have fog lights. Now this is kind of like a middle trim, maybe lower end on the middle trim, because this has cloth seats, so there's no leather. There's no leather in this. You can get it as an option. It comes with cloth seats. You do have power seat, but there is no memory. So when you get up into the higher trims, you can get a memory or additional packages on this. You can get a memory option on the seat. So this seat is basically just, it's power function, but if someone else is driving it and moves your settings, you're going to have to just, fiddle with it until it gets back to where you want it. So that's something to know. Also, it doesn't have power folding mirrors. Obviously it has power mirrors to adjust the mirror, but the mirrors are not folding. Now, these aren't very big mirrors to have to worry about folding in. This isn't like a big trailer mirror, but it will not fold in electronically. If you want to fold it in, you have to do it manually. Also, you might notice there's no blind spot monitoring electronically in this car. It does have a blind spot mirror in the mirror, but that was one of the surprises that I didn't really know whether or not this was going to have, was blind spot monitoring. And you can see over on this mirror over here on the passenger side, there's no indicator in the mirror that shows you if someone's in your blind spot. So I think in the late 22, early 23, they changed the kind of layout of the dash, the screens here, and so that was kind of why I wanted to get this generation, the newest model, is because they have this upgraded dash. They have all their controls right here. Electric parking brake. This has the X31 package, which is the off-road package, so it does have a 2-speed transfer case. So see, it has 4 low and 4 high. If you don't get the X31 off-road package, you don't get the 4 low. You just get 2 high, 4 high, and then auto. So auto headlights, fog lights, bed lights, and then you can adjust the dimmer here. Elevation package does give you heated steering wheel. You get full leather wrap steering wheel. And here are the cruise control functions. It is basic cruise control, so it's not adaptive cruise. Bluetooth, and then this is how you scroll through the menu options here on the dash. You can toggle through those side to side. One thing I also wanted on this is kind of an add-on option that the dealer had this configured, but it has the factory trailer brake controller. Now, it doesn't have the maximum tow package because that really changes the configuration of the truck. It changed the axle ratio. I didn't need the max tow package, but I did want the factory trailer brake controller because I do haul a trailer occasionally, and I wanted to have that in. So that was an option. That's where that would go. Now, this doesn't have the center console. This has a 6-seat version. So this seat here in the middle actually turns into a seat. This locks into place. It does have a full shoulder belt. This isn't the most comfortable seat, but like our 9-year-old son will ride up here, and he likes that, and his feet fit comfortably right here. And to release this, there's a loop right here. You have to pull that to pull that down. Now, here's one thing I want to show you that it was kind of a surprise to me. I didn't know before I bought this, but you can see here there's two USB outlets. There's USB-A, USB-C, and then down here, there's absolutely nothing down here at all. Like there's no power outlet, there's no 110, there's no 12-volt socket anywhere here. These are your only two power outlets in the entire front part of the truck, which was kind of a surprise to me. Even in the armrest, there's no power here either. I had a 2014 Chevy Silverado that had the same setup here, and it had power. It had like a power outlet in here you could plug into, and it was nice because then you could just run the cord to here, and you could keep your phone here or something. But there's no power in here. There's also no power down here. Now this is kind of like a locking area that you can lock this area, but there's no power outlets down there either. So I think it's a kind of a big miss for GM to do away with the 12-volt socket and have such few charging outlets here in the front. Like, especially with only having one USB-A, one USB-C, I thought that was I was kind of surprised to learn that was the only power outlets in the entire front of the truck. I have seen some videos of people installing a 12-volt socket right here, and I might have to do that, especially if you want to run some accessories or anything like that. I was looking at doing a dash cam. I'm like, where am I going to hook up a dash cam if I can't run the power here? I'm going to have to hardwire it somehow. So there is a small little glove box area there, and then you've got one down below here as well. This seat is not power. You pull that up to slide front and back, and then it reclines with a lever. So there's no power functions on this seat. So the interior is kind of basic, but it does have heated seats and heated steering wheel, which I think was nice. Which is actually my GMC Yukon, which is the SLE trim, which is the base level there, doesn't have heated seats or heating steering wheel. So I think that's why this is kind of an upgrade from the SLE. You get a couple of those extra items that you don't get in the SLE trim. These screens have really cool graphics on it. This is all digital dash, digital gauges here, and then you've got this screen here, which is pretty good. Wireless Apple CarPlay. You can do it only through the cord if you want. So this is all touchscreen here. This is pretty intuitive. This is a pretty cool interface here. Some of the buttons that we have here, like a lane departure warning, auto start stop. So even though you have the diesel, you still have auto start stop right here. So it'll stop when you're idling in traffic. You can power release the tailgate here, hazards, traction control, and then here's our hill descent control, which you get this with the X31 package, which this has. So here's the front seat. The back seat, it does have kind of flip-up storage. This flips up. There's a nice carpeted kind of storage box here. It does come with the engine block heater cord. Because it's diesel, it has that, and then you got your tools here to change the tire. You've got the same thing here, one USB-A, one USB-C, some vents, and a 12-volt. No, this is not 12-volt. This is a 110 power outlet. So there's no 12-volt socket in the entire truck, which I think is kind of weird. Both seats will lift up. You do have storage behind these little cubbies right here on both sides, and then you have this fold-down armrest here in the back. So, pretty basic. Like, this isn't super fancy. This isn't like, the top trim. But I think it's kind of the sweet spot when it comes to value, because it's a great value. You get a lot of like base features, but you're not paying a ton for stuff you may not even use, which was pretty cool. Here's our fuel fill here. So you got your diesel and then our DEF, diesel exhaust fluid fill right there. And then the back, this came with the spray and bed liner. This had the X31 protection package, which so include the bed liner and the all-weather mats. I wanted to have this package done by the factory because I think they do a good job. And it's nice not to have to go get that done. Now this does not have the multi-pro flex, whatever they're calling it, tailgate. This just has a power down, assisted up tailgate. It's not much more of an option, but this one wasn't configured with that, and it wasn't a deal breaker. That would have been nice, but this one just didn't have that configuration, and this dealer made me a deal on this truck I couldn't resist, and so that wasn't a deal breaker, but you can get this with the multi-pro tailgate. Otherwise, it just, I push this and it drops down. I don't believe it's powered up. If I push the button again here, it just unlocks it. So it is assisted, but you still have to manually lift it up, which really isn't that big of a deal. I'm not concerned about that at all. This is the short bed, so it's the 5'9", I think, is the length of the bed. You can see it has all-terrain tires on it. This is part of the X31 package. This is you get a lot of options and features with this package. Especially you get these dual exhaust tips. See those dual exhaust tips out the back? Even though with the diesel, you still get that with the diesel. Let me show you the window sticker. Let me show you the MSRP. I'll show you all the features of this, the options. Here's the window sticker. You can view a window sticker on, like when you're looking at a new vehicle on a dealer's website, you can view like an electronic version of this. What I did is I wanted to verify, the elevate, so 24 Sierra 1500 elevation package. I would also look up here just to make sure the color, thunderstorm gray, diesel 10-speed transmission. And then over here in the top left corner is where I would look and just to make sure. So it's a short crew cab, short box, four-wheel drive. So I wanted to make sure it has four-wheel drive, crew cab, and the short box. Those were the things that were really not negotiable. I needed to have this configuration in elevation with thunderstorm gray and the diesel engine. I really wanted the X31 package, and so if you go over here to options, all of this part of the window sticker is all the same for all the elevations. So you go in here to options and pricing, we're able to see the options on this. So the diesel engine, $23.90 is the upgrade price for that. I think that's well worth it. But this has the X31 off-road and protection package, which the protection package gives those mats, the all-weather mats, and the spray-in bed liner. But everything else you get in the X31 package, like the off-road suspension, hill descent control, skid plates, heavy-duty air filter, the 2-speed auto transfer case, the all-terrain tires, the dual exhaust. The spray and bed liner is part of the protection package, and so those floor liners, and then those wheelhouse liners for the rear, and the X31 badge. So you get quite a bit for $18.65, but there's even over here, if you see, there's a $500 discount right now for the protection package. Instead of $18.65, it's $1,300 for all that, which I thought was a pretty good deal. So a few other options it has: the thunderstorm gray, the trailer brake controller. Because this doesn't have the max tow package, this has the trailer brake controller as a separate item. When you don't get the max tow package, you get a rear axle ratio of 3.23. If you get the max tow package, if you need this to tow more, it will be a 3.73 gear ratio, which that's a big jump from there, and it will decrease your fuel mileage, but you'll be able to tow more. So I don't tow a whole lot, so that wasn't a concern for mine. Total MSRP, $63,220 was the MSRP price of this car. Let me show you what I paid for this. All right, I got this from a dealership, the Kendall Chevy GMC in Nampa, Idaho. I live about 320 miles from there. I drove up there and got this and came back. All my local dealers couldn't come close to the price that we got on this. So let me show you just kind of a breakdown. This dealer was coming off of $76.50 was their discount that they were taking off, and the rebates. Now the rebates, these include like GM's rebates. They had some factory bonus cash. They had, if I was a current GMC owner, that was $2,500, and a Costco membership, that was another $1,000. So I got $3,500 extra, which is included in this, but $62.50. So that's almost $14,000 off the price. So the purchase price for this truck was $49,320, which under $50,000. When the MSRP was $63,000, it's a pretty good deal. The only fee they had included in the after the price here was a dock fee of $399. I've never been able to get around a dock fee, and that's just something that you kind of have to pay with most dealers. But they didn't have a lot of extras built into the price, so really all the rest was just my local sales tax and registration fees. All right, and then that's basically my total out the door price on this truck. They didn't have a lot of extra fees, paint protection, window film, GPS, road hazard. They didn't have a lot of extra stuff built into the price that increased it. They're really super easy to work with, so a big shout out to these guys. But this was a great price. I think this was a good price. This is probably the best price I could find, $14,000 off. Now, one thing else I want to show you guys to kind of wrap up here, I want to show you the towing capacities, because this is something cool that GM does now. They put the towing sticker right here on the door jamb, and we're able to see the towing capacity. So we can see the max payload 1622. That's how much cargo, tongue weight that this can fit. And then a conventional trailer weight of, let me zoom in on that here, 8,800 pounds. Max tongue weight 880 pounds. Gooseneck 6,200 pounds. So it tows a lot less on a gooseneck trailer. This is not the truck you want to tow gooseneck with. I mean, it's not a heavy duty truck. So, but for a half ton, you know, towing just under 9,000 pounds, that's sufficient for my needs. It can tow most things, anything that I need to tow. One thing I wanted to point out on this trim on the door, I pulled this out in the sun so you can see this a little better, hopefully. This is a plastic piece painted to look like it's a wood trim, and the wood grain just does not look very natural. I don't like the look of the wood trim on this, but there might be some kind of like options to wrap this, get this changed out, do something to where it looks a little better. But it's throughout here, it's on each of the door panels. It's kind of along the dash here, you can kind of see it here on the dash. It just doesn't look like natural wood for whatever reason. So not a huge deal. That's probably one of my only dislikes as far as the interior is concerned. The gauge cluster, the dash, the layout, that all looks really good. So I'm really happy with how that looks. So guys, that's just kind of a tour of the truck. Hopefully that gives you some information on the options, the packages, kind of what you get with the elevation trim. I think this is kind of the sweet spot when it comes to value. You know, it's kind of like it's a good, you get a lot for your money. You're not paying, you know, $75,000, $80,000 for the AT4X or the Denali. I mean, you get, you know, yeah, that has a lot more options, but, you know, for this price, you still get a lot of truck, especially when it comes to being able to get, you know, different engine options. You can add different packages to this elevation trim to get the bucket seats, to get leather seats, to get adaptive cruise. This has regular cruise control, so there's no adaptive cruise, there's no, you know, lane keep assist on the steering wheel. So there's basic functions. You know, just for doing truck stuff, driving this around occasionally, this is going to be a great truck. So hopefully this gives you some good information. Guys, stay tuned in the video. I want to do a comparison on the price that I found at other dealers. Maybe just give you some guys some tips and hints with working with dealers, looking for a vehicle. Kind of show you how I found this one as I scoured the United States to really try to find the best deal, the best configuration that I could. And I feel like I did with this truck. So stay tuned for that video. That's coming here real soon. But guys, thanks for watching the video. Leave your comment down below. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Thanks.